Merry Christmas. The greatest debate of my career has not been LeBron over Jordan. Just stop it. LeBron doesn't belong in Jordan's universe. The greatest debate of my career has been whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie, a debate I've had countless times, year after year after year. It was released in 1988. But year after year with coworkers, with friends, with fans I've met on the street, whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And it did my heart so much Christmas good to see the other day that IMDb has finally given in and ranked Die Hard on its top 100 Christmas movies of all time, number 3 on the list, behind It's a Wonderful Life at number 1 and Home Alone at number 2. I'm not a big fan of It's a Wonderful Life, but I am the biggest fan of Die Hard. My wife Ernestine and I watch it every single Christmas without fail. We watched it last night. It was probably the 79th time I've watched it. It gets better with every viewing. I enjoyed it more last night than I ever have. And I listened intently, watched intently just to make sure it was a Christmas movie. The very soundtrack just resonates, reverberates Christmas. Starting with Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis. It's the first Christmas song that you hear. It's John McClane is coming in from the airport, right past where I live right now in Los Angeles. In fact, I'm looking out my window at what in fiction life was Nakatomi Plaza. There it is, right there, Nakatomi Plaza. I chose where we live in Los Angeles in part because I can see Nakatomi Plaza from my window as I speak right now. But we watched it again in part just for the soundtrack. Christmas in Hollis was a hit by Run DMC, but it became iconic because of this movie. There's Winter Wonderland. There's Bruce Willis whistling Jingle Bells in this movie. They use Beethoven's Ninth, which just reverberates Christmas to me, the Ode to Joy, beautifully in this movie. And it ends with Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, the classic by Vaughn Monroe. And by the way, Bruce Willis's final line in the movie is Merry Christmas, Argyle, because Die Hard is a Christmas movie. For those who don't know the plot or don't know the movie, the truth is that Bruce Willis plays a sort of reluctant Santa Claus, a bad MF with a big, good heart. A New York detective named John McClane, who literally comes down out of the sky like Santa on a flight from New York to LA on Christmas Eve to attend a Christmas party and stop the Grinch from stealing Christmas, or $640 million in bearers bonds at the time. It's the greatest villain ever in moviedom, played by Alan Rickman, the great late Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber, greatest movie villain ever. So John McClane, the New York detective, has been invited to a lavish Christmas party in Nakatomi Plaza featuring his wife, who is a fast-rising executive in the Nakatomi Corporation, who has taken their 2 daughters and moved to Los Angeles. They're estranged. She's even started using her maiden name again. And the entire movie takes place on Christmas Eve leading into Christmas morning. The entire movie starts with John McClane as Santa Claus, so to speak, landing at LAX in retrieving a giant teddy bear that he has lugged from New York to Los Angeles as a Christmas present for his two young daughters. I don't know how much more Christmassy you can get than that plot. And not only is the movie directed by one of my favorites, John McTiernan, who got this gig because he had directed another big favorite of mine, Predator. But think about this. Bruce Willis gets this part at 33 years of age because all of these legends turned it down. You ready for this? Frank Sinatra, Sylvester Stallone, Richard Gere, Clint Eastwood, Harrison Ford, Burt Reynolds, Nick Nolte, Mel Gibson, Don Johnson, Paul Newman, James Caan, and my wife Ernestine's favorite, Al Pacino, all turned down the role of John McClane in Die Hard. Bruce Willis got the part by extreme default. And he at first turned it down because he was doing a TV show called Moonlighting, you may or may not remember, and literally had to eventually moonlight shooting at night while he was shooting Moonlighting during the day, and got a small window of a break to finish Die Hard only because his co-star in Moonlighting, Sybil Shepherd, got pregnant. The whole movie was a Christmas miracle. Seriously, Christmas miracle. And to me, after watching it last night, and I've got to credit Ernestine with this, she sat back and said, he should have won the Oscar for this movie. And there were so many critics who were lukewarm to this movie when it first came out. Some didn't like it, some liked it. It was about a 50-50 sort of Rotten Tomatoes. They didn't have it then, but sort of 50-50 in how it was treated by critics. And so many critics have come full circle to hail Die Hard as an achievement, as the greatest action movie ever, and now IMDb says it's one of the top 3 Christmas movies ever, and it's all because of the performance of Bruce Willis. He did deserve the Oscar for this. I dare you to tell me I'm wrong. God bless him now. But I dare you to tell me he didn't deserve the Academy Award for this role, because it is layered, it is deep, it is compelling, it is powerful. In the speech he gives when it looks like all has been lost, over a walkie-talkie to his sudden partner, his buddy, played beautifully by Reginald VelJohnson, who deserves some sort of supporting actor nod for this. He plays the LA cop Al Powell, who's got his own issues in life. And at one point, stuck in a bathroom with feet that have been shredded by broken glass, bare feet, Bruce Willis gives one of the great movie speeches ever about how much he regrets never telling his wife, Holly, played by Bonnie Bedelia beautifully, never has told Holly in his life how sorry he is that he didn't support her. It's a gut-wrencher of a speech. It's real. It's not just some B movie speech. It's an A+ movie speech by Bruce Willis to Al Powell when it looked like it was over. And not only was it not over, but John McClane, as this sort of hard-bitten Santa Claus figure, saves the day, or I should say the night, in outwitting, outfighting, out-toughing almost all of Hans Gruber's henchmen, including Hans Gruber. Only in the end does he need an assist from Al Powell to save him from Carl, who we thought he had actually hung him by his neck. And we get one last hurrah from Carl, stopped by Al Pal. But I think he kills 11 henchmen, and it is clever, it is creative, it is real, it is completely, utterly believable the way John McClane slowly but surely takes back Nakatomi Plaza from Hans Gruber and his henchmen. Ernestine has a hard time watching the movie with me because I can't help myself. I know every line in the dialogue. I know it by heart. I could just spit it out right now. That's how much this movie means to me. There are, I don't know, 20 or 30 classic lines in the movie. And surely you've heard of Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, which is Bruce's greatest line in the movie. But the greatest scene in the movie for me is the Santa Claus scene in which John McClane has killed the first henchman, happens to be Carl's brother, and he gets the idea, the gutsy, clever, only John McClane idea to put a sweatshirt on the dead body and write in magic marker on the sweatshirt, "Now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho." A classic Santa Claus line from Santa Claus Bruce Willis on Christmas Eve. And he puts the dead body in an elevator and sends it down to the 30th floor of Nakatomi Plaza, where Hans Gruber and henchmen are holding, I don't know, maybe 100 partygoers hostage. And the door opens to shrieks. There's a dead body. And Hans reads that line out loud. "Now I have a machine gun." He's German in this. Ho, ho, ho. And he knows he's up against something that he did not plan for. John McClane, the hard-bitten Santa Claus, saves the lives of probably 100 partygoers, this lavish, high-level, high-end party in downtown LA, or actually Century City, where we live, from getting blown up, because the plan was to blow them all up on the roof as the FBI tried to save them and signal the FBI that all the quote-unquote terrorists, they were just thieves, were blown up and they escape out the back door. That was the plan that was all-time thwarted by John McClane, ending with John getting back into the limo driven by Argyle, a great character, saying, "Merry Christmas, Argyle." And the music comes up, "Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let there be Die Hard." One of the greatest Christmas movies ever, and definitely a Christmas movie. Merry Christmas to you and yours.